I died, choking on my own blood, the taste of betrayal metallic and thick in my throat. It wasn't the crash that killed me, the sleek black SUV that plowed into my side on that rain-slicked Seattle highway, but the whisper from my half-brother's lips right before it happened. This is for the will.
Nova.
Dad's finally seeing sense. And then, nothing.
Blackness.
Until the world slammed back into focus. Not in some ethereal afterlife, but in the cramped bathroom of my old high school. Staring at a reflection that was me at 17. Acne scars fading. Eyes wide with the terror of a girl who hadn't yet learned to hate. My hands smaller, unscarred by years of clawing through corporate ladders, gripped the sink so hard the porcelain creaked. What the fuck? I gasped, my voice cracking like it used to before I built that armor of sarcasm and steel. The mirror showed Nova Hale, the awkward stepdaughter, the family secret Dad swept under the rug of his second marriage. Not the 32-year-old VP who'd just been ousted from Yale Enterprises in a boardroom coup. Her accident timed perfectly to seal the deal. I'd signed the merger papers that morning, the ones that would have saved the company from my stepmom's greedy claws, only to have her and my half-siblings drug my coffee and stage the whole thing. Betrayal? It was a goddamn symphony, my own blood, or what passed for it, conducting the finale. I splashed water on my face, the cold shock grounding me as memories flooded in like a dam burst.
The party.
That godforsaken gala at Dad's sprawling Bellevue estate, where Victoria, my mom, the Ice Queen trophy wife who'd married him for the stock options, had leaned in close. Her Chanel no. 5 choking me worse than the exhaust fumes would later. You're not even family. Nova, she'd hissed, smiling for the cameras while her manicured nails dug into my arm. Just a reminder of his mistake. I'd laughed it off then. The outsider in my own home. But it festered.
And now
I was back. 15 years upstream. The ink on Dad's prenup still drying. My real mom's grave fresh enough to smell the lilies. The bell rang, jolting me from the sink. AP Calc. God. The banality of it. I stumbled into the hallway, lockers slamming like punctuation to my racing thoughts. This wasn't a dream. The scuff on my Converse from tripping over Ethan's backpack last week was still there.
Ethan.
My half-brother. The golden boy. Already plotting at 12. And Lila. His twin. The manipulator who'd leak my affair rumors to the tabloids in my first life. They were kids now. Innocent-faced cherubs in private school uniforms. But I knew the rot beneath. Victoria had planted it early, whispers of how I was the bastard bonus, Dad's indiscretion with his college girlfriend. Shipped off to boarding schools until he felt guilty enough to bring me home at 16. I spotted them in the quad. Ethan tossing a football with his lacrosse buddies. Lila scrolling her flip phone like it held state secrets. My stomach twisted. In my old timeline, I'd spent years trying to fit in, earning straight A's, interning at Yale Enterprises during summers, only to watch Victoria turn Dad against me. She'd hidden his first will, the one leaving me controlling interest, and forged a new one after his heart attack, the one she engineered with bad meds and worse lies. My death, the cherry on top, clearing the path for her to sell the company to her shady Silicon Valley cronies. But not this time. This time, I was the ghost in the machine, armed with future sight sharper than a switchblade. I ducked behind a pillar, heart pounding. First things first, evidence. In my past life, I'd found scraps, a forged signature here, a deleted email there, but too late.
Now,
I'd build the case brick by brick, starting small. Controversial? Hell yes. I'd have to play dirty, ally with the devils I knew, and maybe burn a few bridges that weren't quite built yet. But revenge wasn't a sprint, it was a marathon of calculated cuts. By lunch, I was in the library, studying on Dad's old desktop he donated. Password, still Victoria forever, the idiot. I logged into the family server. Remote access was a joke back then, and scanned the folders. There it was, prenup amendments.pdf. My hands shook as I printed it. The ancient dot matrix whirring like a conspirator. Pages of legalese. But I knew the poison, clauses tying Dad's assets to Victoria's discretion, with me as the disposable variable. She'd bury me in boarding school debts if she could. The final bell freed me, and I biked home to the Hale mansion, less mansion than, more McMansion knockoff on Lake Washington's edge. Dad's Beamer was in the drive. Victoria's Porsche absent.
Good.
I needed him alone. Bursting through the kitchen door, flour dusted from whatever half-assed bake sale I'd forgotten, I found him at the island, nursing a scotch. Richard Hale, tech mogul on the rise, eyes crinkling at the corners like they used to before grief hollowed them. Novabug, he said, pulling me into a hug that smelled of aftershave and regret. Rough day. I pulled back, forcing a smile that didn't reach my eyes. Dad, we need to talk.
About Mom.
About everything. His face fell, the scotch glass pausing midair. Your mom? Sweetheart, that's ancient history. No, I cut in, sharper than intended. It's not. And it's why Victoria's gonna screw us all. The words hung, controversial as a lit match in a powder keg. Dad's jaw tightened, but he didn't yell. Not yet. In my first life, I'd tiptoed around her, afraid of rocking the boat. This time, fuck the boat. I'd sink it. We talked for hours, me spinning half-truths laced with future knowledge, hints of Victoria's affairs. Her charity that was really money laundering for tech rivals. I showed him the prenup printout, watching his color drain. How did you? He stammered. Doesn't matter, I lied. What matters is you fix this now. Before the party. Before she turns Ethan and Lila into her puppets. He stared at me like I'd grown a second head, but something flickered, doubt. Maybe love. You're different.
Nova.
Wiser. You have no idea. I thought. By dinner. He'd called his lawyer. The amendments shredded in the fireplace. Victoria came home to a cold shoulder, her Botox smile cracking when Dad announced a family meeting. I watched from the stairs, invisible, as she blustered about overreactions and poor little Nova's imagination. But the seed was planted. That night, in my canopy bed that smelled of lavender and lost innocence, I plotted. Step 1. Isolate Victoria from her allies. In my old life, she'd charmed the board with her faux feminism, women in tech speeches while undercutting me at every turn.
Now.
I'd leak her secrets anonymously, starting with that offshore account I'd discovered too late before.
Forum. Hedge de precursores Hale.
Even the school gossip mill. Controversial? Leaking his stepmom's financials as a teen? Borderline cyberbullying. But she'd earned it. Ethan knocked softly the next morning. Hey.
Sis.
Mom says you're causing trouble. His eyes. Blue like Dad's but colder.
Cerked mine.
I ruffled his hair. The gesture alien now. Just looking out for us.
Kid.
Want in. He shrugged, but lingered. Crack number 1 in the facade. Weeks blurred into a tense domestic Cold War. I hacked, okay. Socially engineered. Victoria's emails via a forgotten shared calendar. Forwarding tidbits to Dad. Flirtations with his COO. Padded expense reports. She retaliated subtly, extra chores, forgetting my allowance, but I countered with charm offensives. Baking her favorite tiramisu, laced with truth serum questions over coffee. Why do you hate me so much?
Beak.
Was it Mom's ghost? Her laugh was brittle. Hate? Darling. Indifference is worse. Liar. I knew the secret she buried. Her infertility. The real reason she tolerated me as the spare heir. But Dad's revised will floated drafts now. My name bolder on the pages. School became my war room. I aced tests not for grades, but to build leverage, scholarships as escape hatches. Lila cornered me in the bathroom once, her pigtails bobbing like nooses. You're ruining everything.
Nova.
Mom says you're jealous. I leaned in, voice low. Jealous? Of what? Your trust fund tantrums? Tell you what helped me? Or get left behind? She blinked, intrigue sparking. Twins against the world? Or pawns in my game? Time would tell. The party loomed. Dad's big investor schmooze fest marking Yale Enterprises IPO. Invites gold embossed. Catering from Seattle's finest. In my first life. It was my debut. Awkward in a thrift store gown. Victoria's Barb the night's highlight. This time, it'd be her requiem. As autumn leaves turned the lake blood orange, I felt the noose tightening. One night, Dad pulled me aside.
Nova.
This changes everything.
But.
Are you sure about her? I met his gaze. The weight of 2 lifetimes heavy. Dad.
Trust me.
Or lose us all. He nodded, but doubt lingered. Betrayal's shadow. Long even in rewind. The weeks leading to the party were a masterclass in psychological warfare. The kind that leaves no bruises, but carves canyons in trust.
Victoria.
Sensing the shift. Double down, playful barbs at breakfast. Accidental spills on my homework. Whispers to Dad about my teen angst. But I was a step ahead. A revenant with receipts. I'd set up a burner email. Truth teller anon at SeattleUnderground.com, dripping poison into the veins of her social circle. First drop, screenshots of her yoga retreats in Napa. Actually trysts with a venture capitalist who'd later buy Yale stock short. The fallout was delicious. Her bestie, Marla from the country club, iced her out at brunch, overheard by my planted ally. The barista I'd tipped with Dad's petty cash. Victoria stormed home, heels clicking like gunfire, cornering me in the foyer. What have you done? You little snake? I feigned innocence, twirling a lock of hair. Me? I thought you were the networking queen.
Beak.
Trouble in paradise. Her slap was lightning fast, but I didn't flinch. In my old life, it'd cow me. Now, it fueled me. Dad walked in midstorm, his face thunder. Victoria, enough. She spun. Tears Oscar-worthy. Richard. She's lying, twisting everything. Our kids see it.
Ethan?
Lila. I interjected, voice steady. Ask them. The twins hovered in the doorway. Ethan kicking at the Persian rug. Lila picking at her braces. I'd been cultivating them like hothouse flowers, late-night Mario Kart sessions with Ethan, where I drop casual bombs about Mom's business trips being shopping sprees, sleepovers with Lila. trading secrets over contraband rom-coms, hinting Victoria's love was conditional. Cracks widened. Ethan muttered. She did yell at the caterer again. Dad. Lila nodded.
Eyes down.
Victoria's empire trembled. That night, she tried seduction, lingerie, and wine for Dad. Cooing about family unity, I eavesdropped from the vents. A trick from my boarding school ghosting days. It worked. Temporarily, morning brought forced affection. Her arm around me at the breakfast table like a python's coil. But I pressed. School project?
Issues investigative journalisme.
Family fortunes, hidden clauses in American dreams. Teacher ate it up. Presentation featured anonymized prenup stats. Victoria's face paling in the parent gallery. Controversial? Parents whispered about inappropriate topics, but Dad beamed, clapping loudest.
Post-hoc.
He pulled strings. Internship at a PI firm. For your curiosity.
Bug. The PI.
Grizzled ex-cop named Harlan. Became my off-books mentor. Over greasy diners in Pioneer Square. I'd feed him leads, Victoria's maiden name tied to a fraud case in Boston. He dug. Unearthing gold, her ex-husband's suicide. Ruled accident but smelling of insurance scams. Kid, he'd growl. Sliding folders across Formica. This lady's a black widow. You playing with matches? Lighting a bonfire. I'd quip. American grit masking the terror. Because doubt crept in. Was I becoming her? Leaking? Manipulating kids. Ethan now spied on her phone for me. Lila forged innocent questions to trip her up. The twins weren't villains yet. I was sculpting them into weapons.
Moral gray?
Pitch black. But the memory of that SUV's grille. Ethan's smirk. Fuck morality. Midterms hit like a freight train, but I aced them, using a high to push Dad. The party's your moment.
Dad.
Announce the new structure. Me as successor shadow. Show her you're serious. He hesitated. Scotch in hand.
Nova.
It's risky. Investors love stability, not drama. Drama's what built empires, I countered. Like yours. He caved.
Drafting a speech.
Victoria intercepted a copy. How? I didn't know, and the sabotage began. Brakes on my bike tampered. Oops, by the gardener, she paid extra. I fixed it myself. YouTube tutorials my Bible. Then set a trap, a decoy bike. Rigged with dye packs from Harlan. Next accident, blue paint exploded, staining her Beamer. Dad's questions led to tears. Her alibi crumbled under Ethan's reluctant testimony. I saw her in the garage. Dad. The house fractured. Dinner's silent. Except my barbs, light, lethal. Pass the salt. Vic? Or is that reserved for your secrets? Lila giggled once. Ethan fist-bumped me under the table. Victoria's eyes promised murder. But legally, she was cornered. Then the twist I didn't see coming. A letter from Mom's lawyer. Forwarded to the old address I'd monitored. Unopened in my first life. Now in my hands, yellowed envelope. Postmarked a month after her overdose. Inside, a confession. Mom had no deed. Victoria's private eye had dosed her coffee, staging it to look like depression. Proof? A vile analysis, hidden in safety deposit box. And the kicker, Mom's dying wish. Recorded audio. Begging Dad to protect me from the viper you married. I played it in the attic. Tears hot. Rage volcanic. This wasn't just betrayal, it was matricide, buried under NDAs and payoffs. Victoria hadn't just stolen my future, she'd erased my past. I burned the letter's copy, but digitized the audio. Password protected on a floppy I'd find later. Harlan warned me. Revenge like this? It eats you. Kid. Let it, I said. I've got seconds to burn. The party eve. Dad rehearsed his speech in the study. Me as audience. To new beginnings, he toasted with water. And to Nova, the heart of Hale. Pride swelled, tainted by pity. In my old life, he'd died believing her lies. Heart failing under stress, she amplified.
Now,
I'd save him, or die trying again.
Victoria Lurquez.
Plotting her counter. I caught her on the phone. Double the dose.
Idiot.
The girl's onto us. To whom? Her PI contact. The one who'd tailed Mom. I traced the call, burner. But Harlan pinned it to a dive bar in Tacoma. Sleep evaded me. Visions of the crash looping, tires screeching. Ethan's laugh fading to sirens. But morning broke crisp. Evergreens frosted. The mansion buzzed, caterers hauling ice sculptures. Florists weaving orchids. I slipped into my gown. Thrift but tailored now. Emerald silk hugging curves I hadn't earned yet. Mira Nova smirked. Showtime. Ethan and Lila flanked me downstairs. Gawky in tuxes and poofs. You look badass, Ethan mumbled. Team Hale? Lila asked. Hopeful.
Always, I lied. For now. Victoria descended.
Crimson gown like spilled wine. Diamonds, winking accusations. Don't embarrass us.
Nova.
Wouldn't dream of it. Mom. The word dripped venom. Dad beamed. Arm in arm with her. Last public facade. Guests arrived. Venture vultures in Armani. Tech bros with startup pitches. Seattle elite sipping martinis under chandeliers. Jazz quartet hummed Sinatra. Lakeview sparkled. City lights a distant promise. I worked the room. Charm offensive. Handshakes with bored hopefuls. Whispers of insider scoops to plant loyalty seeds. Controversial move. I cornered Victoria's rival.
Elena Vasquez. A Latina powerhouse ainga le adquisición.
She's vulnerable, I murmured over caviar. Partner with me. Not her. Eyes narrowed. Intrigued. Bold for a kid. Desperate times, I shrugged. Alliance forged in champagne flutes. As speeches loomed, tension coiled. Victoria pulled Dad aside. Urgent, probably her final plea. Laced with threats. I intercepted Ethan mid-tirade. Watch her.
Kid.
If she slips you something. He nodded.
Grave.
The boy who'd kill me once now my sentinel. The MC called order. Dad ascended the podium. Lights hot. Victoria beside him. Smile plastic. My heart thundered. Climax neared. The one thing I'd say. The detonator. Dad's voice boomed through the ballroom. Polished as his cufflinks. Recounting Hale's rise from garage startup to IPO darling. Guests leaned in. Glasses tinkling applause at anecdotes of late nights and lucky breaks. Victoria stood statue still. Her hand on his elbow a possessive claw. But her eyes darted to me, where I lingered by the dessert table. Ethan's small frame a shield. The audio chip burned in my clutch. Harlan's voiceover prepped. Play it if she twitches wrong. And tonight, Dad continued, we celebrate not just success, but legacy. To the next generation. Pause for effect. Eyes finding mine.
Nova.
Come up here. Kiddo. Murmurs rippled. The bastard stepkid. Thrust center stage. Controversial as hell. but Dad's sway held. I ascended, heels steady on marble steps. The room's gaze 1,000 needles. Victoria's smile fractured. Lila, in the front row, bit her lip, hope or fear. Ethan gave thumbs up. His loyalty bought with truths I'd parceled like candy. Dad draped an arm around me, paternal pride masking the storm we'd brewed. Nova's more than family. She's the future of Yale Enterprises. Effective immediately. She'll shadow operations. Groomed for the board. Gasps. Claps, polarized. Elena Vasquez nodded approval. Victoria's cronies shifted uncomfortably. I leaned into the mic. Voice amplified. Casual. Thanks,
Dad.
but legacies aren't built on blood. They're forged in trust. Innocent enough. Hook sunk. Victoria's laugh tinkled. Forced. Here. Though some bonds are thicker than others. The bar landed. Guests chuckling politely. In my first life. It had got me, now. It was Q. I turned to her. Spotlights haloing us like a cage match. Speaking of bonds, Mom, mind if I share a family secret? One mom left for us. Her color drained, pearls clutched.
Nova.
Darling, not the time.
Oh.
It's perfect. I slipped the chip into the AV port Harlan had rigged, discreet. Wireless. Mom's voice filled the room. Tinny but unmistakable. Richard, if you're hearing this. Victoria knows. About the money. The lies. She came to me, threatened everything unless I signed over the patents. I couldn't. The pills. It wasn't me. Protect Nova. She's the key. Screams erupted as Victoria lunged. But security, Dad's hires, tipped by me, held her. The audio rolled. Details of the dosing. The PI's payoff. Timestamps matching her calendars. Guests recoiled. Phones whipped out. Liv tweeting the implosion. Ethan froze. Face ashen, his future self's complicity dawning. Lila sobbed, but clutched my hand under the podium. You bitch, Victoria shrieked, thrashing. She's lying. That whore killed herself. Autopsy says otherwise. I cut in, calm as Arctic wind. Vial tested positive, for extras.
Beak.
And the offshore accounts? The ones funding your retreats. We have logs. Dad staggered. Face crumpling, grief fresh. Rage blooming.
Victoria?
My God. She spat venom. You think you're saving him? You're nothing. A mistake's mistake. I built this. Kept your dirty secrets. Your bastard hidden. The room hushed. Scandal electric. Controversial? Exposing a murderess at your own party? Tabloid gold. Lawsuit bait. But truth is the ultimate fuck you. Elena stepped forward. Mic in hand. Richard. Hale's done. But with Nova? We'd invest double. Clean slate. Bids murmured. Vultures circling the corpse. Dad nodded. Broken but resolute. Get her out. Cops swarmed.
Victoria kafte mit flasses, Seattle PD.
Harlan's contacts greased. She locked eyes with me.
Atred pure.
This isn't over.
Nova.
You'll burn with me. I smiled. First real one in lifetimes. Already did. Aftermath blurred. Statements. Lawyers swarming like locusts. Dad collapsed in the study. Scotch forgotten. As I pieced Mom's puzzle, patent she'd hidden. Tech that could have revolutionized Yale. Buried to spite Victoria. Turns out, I wasn't just heir. I was inventor by proxy. Mom's silent partner in code. The twins? Shattered glass. Ethan confessed nightmares of helping mom in vague kid terms, early grooming. Lila clung, asking, "Were we bad?" "Kids aren't bad," I said, hugging fierce. "Just misled. We fix it together." Therapy followed. Family rebooted. Dad sold stakes to Elena, but kept control, me as CFO by 20. Ethan and Lila in ethical training.
Victoria? Trial dragged.
But convictions stuck. Manslaughter.
Fraud.
15 years.
No parole.
Her parting shot in court. "You stole my life." "No," I whispered from the gallery. "You stole mine." Twice. Twist came months later. Deposition digging. Dad knew. Suspected the OD. Buried it for peace. Guilt ate him. My return, my wisdom, absolved. How?
Nova?
How did you know? I lied smooth. A hunch. Mom's ghost. Maybe. He laughed. Tears salting. Weary built, Hale green now. Sustainable tech. Scholarships in mom's name. No SUV crash. Instead, boardrooms where I thrived. No shadows. But nights. Alone in the Lakeview suite. Doubts whispered. Was this justice or just another cycle? I'd manipulated kids. Leaked lives, gray deeds for a black heart. Ethan, now frat-bound, echoed old smirks sometimes. Lila's clinginess bordered obsession. Seeds sown deep. Yet, at the rebuilt gala, our gala, I raised a toast, family intact, to bonds unbreakable, and secrets that set us free. Dad hugged me. Victoria's ghost banished. Happy? Close enough. But in the mirror, Nova stared back, twice born, forever scarred. One thing I'd said changed everything, the truth. And in America, land of second chances, it was the deadliest weapon.